The 30th Champions League meeting between European heavyweights Bayern Munich and Real Madrid takes centre stage at the Allianz Arena tonight. Vincent Kompany's side enter this mouth-watering quarter-final second leg, boasting 1-goal advantage after winning last week 2-1 at the Santiago Bernabeu. Goals either side of half-time for Luis Diaz and Harry Kane helped Bayern earn a slender first-leg victory over Real Madrid and ended their 9-game winless run against the Spanish giants, where they lost 7 of them. But a late strike from Kylian Mbappe has kept this contest alive for Alvaro Arbeloa's side. The Bavarians will certainly take comfort from having won 29 of their 30 two-legged ties in UEFA competitions, and after winning the first leg on the road, including 12 out of 13 when winning the first leg by 1-goal margin. The only blot on their copybook came in the 2010-11 campaign when Inter Milan came from 1-0 down to win 3-2 in the second leg and progress from the last 16 on away goals. Kompany's men followed up their victory in Madrid with an emphatic 5-0 away success over St. Pauli in the Bundesliga last Saturday. The reigning German top-flight champions have now moved 12 points clear at the summit of the league, thanks to second-place Borussia Dortmund losing to Bayer Leverkusen, and they could clinch yet another title as early as this weekend. Bayern's immediate priority is the Champions League, though, and progressing to their first semi-final since winning the competition for a 6th time in 2020. That could prove challenging, though, against Real Madrid, given they've lost 7 of their last 8 UEFA two-legged ties against Spanish teams and 4 of their last 5 such quarter-finals. However, the Allianz Arena has become a fortress for Bayern, who've won all 5 European home games this season, averaging 3.2 goals in those matches, and have lost just 1 of their last 28 Champions League home fixtures, winning 22 of them. They've also tasted defeat just twice in 44 matches across all competitions in front of their own fans. So there is reason to be optimistic of success tonight. Real Madrid face the grim prospect of a second consecutive season without a major trophy as their campaign has begun to unravel a very, very crucial moment, with last week's first leg loss to Bayern sandwiched between 2 disappointing league results against Mallorca and Girona. 6 days after suffering a 2-1 defeat at Mallorca, a strong Real Madrid lineup was held to 1-1 home draw by Girona on last Friday, sparking a chorus of whistles and boos from the Bernabeu faithful at full-time. Real's latest setback has allowed title rivals Barcelona to establish a 9-point lead at the Liga summit with 7 games remaining. Life after Xabi Alonso has been anything but smooth for head coach Arbeloa. A shock Copa del Rey exit at the hands of low league opposition, followed by a stuttering European campaign, have left the 43-year-old under mounting pressure. With the domestic title now slipping away, Arbeloa has only 1 card left to play: the club's historic ability to transform under the bright lights of the Champions League. The 15-time European champions have only prevailed in one of their previous 7 two-legged ties in UEFA competition after losing the first leg on home soil. However, Real Madrid have won all of their last 7 European Cup / Champions League quarter-final ties against German opposition. And Los Blancos have also won each of their last 9 UEFA two-legged ties against German teams and have been beaten in just 2 of their last 12 European away matches against German sides. Against Bayern, Real are unbeaten in their last 4 games at the Allianz Arena and have not lost any of their last 4 Champions League two-legged ties, with the Bavarians most recently winning 4-3 on aggregate in the 2023-24 semi-finals. Let's quickly talk through the lineups before we get underway here. So in goal for Bayern is Manuel Neuer, back line of Josip Stanisic, Jonathan Tah, David Upamecano and Konrad Laimer. Midfield is Joshua Kimmich and Alexander Pavlovic. Michael Olise on the right, Luis Diaz on the left, Serge Gnabry in between them. Of course, the main man, Harry Kane, up top. As for Real Madrid, it is Andre Lunin in goal. Back for Trent Alexander-Arnold, Eder Militao, Antonio Rudiger and Ferland Mendy. We've got Arda Güler on the left with Brahim Diaz on the right. Fede Valverde and Jude Bellingham in the centre. And it's Vinicius Jr. and Kylian Mbappe up top. Bayern's benches: Kim Min-jae, Leon Goretzka, Jamal Musiala, Nicholas Jackson, Alphonso Davies, Hiroki Ito, Rafael Guerrero, Erblin Osmani, and Jonas Erbig. As for Real, it is Dani Carvajal, David Alaba, Eduardo Camavinga, Gonzalo Garcia, Alvaro Fernandez, Dani Ceballos, Fran Garcia, Dean Howson, Fran Gonzalez, Javier Navarro, Franco Mastantuono, and Thiago Pita. So all set now for what is set to be an intriguing second leg here at the Allianz Arena. That Mbappe goal has kept things alive for Real, but it's still going to be a serious uphill task for the Spanish Giants. And Bayern controlled that first leg so well. Although Real Madrid did have their chances, but overall the eye test, Bayern did certainly dictate play superbly. And really hoping that both sides just going to go for it from the get-go. We probably expect some cagey periods, obviously, with the magnitude of the game. And the Real Madrid fans, they're coming in hope that they can use some of their European magic to get them through to the semi-finals. They're in search of Champions League number 16. It's just remarkable, isn't it, the love affair that Real Madrid have with this competition. And they're just in the huddle at the moment. They know they need to get that opening goal. If they don't, it's going to be a serious uphill task for them, if it wasn't enough already. So we are ready to get underway here. It will be Bayern kicking us off, shooting from right to left. And they'll just look to dictate things like they did in a lot of that first leg. So we're underway here at the Allianz Arena. And ball play back to Manuel Neuer. Sends it forwards now towards Elise. It's flicked on, but Real Madrid will have it back now. Andre Lunin just picks up the ball, and straight away Bayern going direct from that goal kick. I think it's actually flipped backwards from Jude Bellingham as Lunin now sends it towards Vinicius. Headed down and away by Upamecano. Now Bayern win it in midfield through Kimmich. Back now into the feet of Neuer. Oh, it's getting away from Neuer. Oh, what a chance for Real Madrid. Shot looping towards goal. Is it going to go in? It's in. Unbelievable. What a start for Real Madrid. It's a nightmare for Manuel Neuer. He gave it straight to Arda Güler. Took it on first time. About 40 yards from goal. Whipped it left-footed. And Neuer was just in no man's land. He could only watch helplessly. Watch the ball fly into the back of his net. Incredible. Real Madrid draw first blood in the opening minute of the Allianz Arena. An absolute gift from Manuel Neuer. Again, the ball was lost from Real Madrid in midfield initially. Kimmich just played it back to Neuer. Neuer, all the time in the world, just passed it straight to Güler. I think Neuer was looking for Kimmich. Arda Güler took it on first time with his left foot into an empty net. Unbelievable. Two pieces straight by Munich on the front foot, and a long distance shot from Pavlovic over the bar. Again, what a start here at the Allianz Arena. Real Madrid taking the lead inside the open minute to tie it up at two apiece, and Bayern up the other end, taking a shot on over the bar, looking to respond immediately. What a moment though for Arda Güler. Such a big game like this, and it's Lunin starts the goal kick. Now Alexander-Arnold bends it down the right. Jude Bellingham, great athleticism. Real Madrid have got their tails up. Now Bellingham on his outside to Mbappe. Real Madrid on the right. Mbappe now linking up on that right hand side, and Mbappe back for Bellingham. Here's Alexander-Arnold, takes an infield position. Fede Valverde now square foot Mendy. Mendy goes short to Vinicius. That's back in the Real Madrid midfield. Valverde links up with Rudiger just ahead of halfway. Square now for Militao. Eder Militao. Again, just by him is Alexander-Arnold. Rolls it back to Militao. And now Real Madrid just square it from Lunin to Rudiger. The ball stopped in a moment midway in the Madrid half. Played over halfway now. Clear force from Upamecano. Here's Elise. Back now for Stanisic. Stanisic plays it in field to Kimmich. He's been pressed there, Kimmich. Kimmich goes down. Was he clipped from Valverde? Referee waves play on. So Real Madrid here on the inside left. Now Pavlovic has it given to him. Bayern Munich have to go backwards here. Now Pavlovic into his own half. Pavlovic square for Upamecano. And rolls it short to Stanisic on the halfway line. Just behind him for Upamecano. And square for Pavlovic. And from halfway goes the full pass on the left for Diaz. Diaz drifts in, 35 yards and goal, gives it away. Again, Bayern just gifting Real Madrid the ball in these early stages. Now Goulet trying to set away Vinicius. Vinicius now on the left, face up with Upamecano. Vinicius, edge of the box. Vinicius trying to look for Bellingham. His pass cut out though. And now Upamecano goes and is outside to Elise. First time to Upamecano. Bayern just behind halfway. Now Derek Upamecano. Again, a bending run towards Gnabry. Comfortably cleared away from Militao to Fede Valverde. 4 minutes played at the Allianz Arena. An error from Manuel Neuer, gifted it to Arda Güler, who just whipped it into an empty net. Diaz now looking to come over halfway line, but just outmuscles him. And it is 2 apiece here in the time. In fact, I think a free kick's been given against Conrad Lineman out. Again, it was Diaz looking to burst down the right-hand side. And there was definitely a raised arm. And that is a free kick for Real Madrid as Militao now goes backwards to Rudiger. So here is Lunin inside the D. And clips it instead of Bellingham. Alexander-Arnold heads inside and intercepted from Pavlovic. 35 yards and goal. Kimmich in the middle. What can he do with this? He clips it over the top. Look at Diaz headed away. Real Madrid only as far as Luis Diaz. Edge of the box on left now inside it. On the byline, Diaz turns away for Alexander-Arnold. Diaz tries to squeeze across him, but Alexander-Arnold blocks it on the byline. And I can't believe this game's already at 5 minutes old. It's just been so frantic. And so much has happened in that time. So corner kick for Bayern to take on the left-hand side. It's Bayern Munich 0, Real Madrid 1. 5.5 minutes played in the second leg. And it is 2 apiece. Real Madrid leading by a goal to Manuel Neuer. Pass it straight to Arda Güler. And bends it perfectly into an empty net. So Kimmich's corner kick. Oh, it's gone in! Oh, incredible! And Bayern lead the tie again. It's a nightmare for Andre Lunin. Was there a final touch? Possibly the near post. It looked like the naked eye that Kimmich's corner went all the way in. But I think there was a slight touch for Pavlovic. I think it's his goal. It's 1 apiece. The red and white scarves are twirling around the Allianz Arena. What a start to this second leg. It's only 6 minutes old, and it is 1 apiece on the night. And Bayern lead the tie again. Kimmich's corner. There was a header right on the goal line, mind, from Pavlovic. Again, Lunin, it just sailed over him. Such poor goalkeeping. Lunin just was helpless behind his line. Again, off balance. And Pavlovic just had the simple job of heading it to the back of the net on the goal line. So Bayern lead the tie again. It's breathless stuff in the opening 7 minutes. Bayern 1, Real Madrid 1. And 3-2 to Bayern in the tie. And Neuer goes long now. And it was a push on Michael Elise. Yeah, Pavlovic will not score an easy goal in that. Bayern take the quick free kick. Intercepted though from Militao. Direct from Mbappe, sprinting down the right. Targets there first, now is Neuer. Neuer in the 6-yard box. Squares it to Upamecano. Vinicius approaching him. Upamecano's pass, and now Elise gets the call to leave it from Kane. Now Kane into the centre circle. Harry Kane almost ran to trouble as England teammate Jude Bellingham trying to get across, but it's now down the left from the goal scorer for Bayern, Pavlovic. Diaz, edge of the box now. Luis Diaz inside Harry Kane. Two goal scorers from the first leg linking up. Now Kimmich inside right, tries to roll in behind for Elise. Intercepted from Mendy. Mendy's pass, can't find Vinicius. Now Real push back here. Here is Lima. Looks to be a little clip down Kimmich. The referee doesn't give a free kick. Upamecano squares it. Wide right now to Elise. Elise slowly drifting. Elise goes to Curler. Cannons up the face of Rudiger. It's all Bayern now. Stanisic comes it back for Elise. Elise's delivery towards the back stick. Diaz flicks it towards near post. Easy catch though for Lunin. I mean, Diaz did well to keep it in play. That fact actually I spoke too soon, didn't even keep it in play. So it is a goal kick to Real. Again, Vinicius just getting a talking to by the referee about something. I'm not sure. I think it was so it was Vinicius who committed the foul on Joshua Kimmich. So that is the reason why Vinicius getting a little talking to by the referee. As Lunin plays the goal kick square for Militao. Militao's ball takes the flex off Gnabry. Now Pavlovic inside Bayern. Right back on the front foot. Kimmich inside left to Gnabry. And backwards to Pavlovic. Now in field for Elise. Elise just over 30 yards and goal. Elise now into the feet of Rudiger. Again, just slowed himself down. Rudiger into the attacking third. Short and square for Elise. Again, return to Rudiger. Now backwards for Kimmich. So Kimmich's now inside right. Behind him in the centre circle to Tar. Short and square for Pavlovic. Lima asking for it. It goes in the centre circle to Kimmich. In its stroke from Stanisic. Now Upamecano midway inside the Real half. Upamecano gets away possession to Mendy. Mendy just about picks up Valverde ahead of him. Valverde looks to go down the line. It's blocked from Kimmich. Now Chester from Stanisic to Elise. Here's Kimmich now. Again being pressed on Bayern's right hand side, but stays calm. Kimmich. That's gone back now into the feet of Neuer. Then Neuer direct towards the centre circle. Comfortable head away for Rudiger. It's trapped there from Kimmich. Now inside from Lima. Gnabry just by the centre circle. That's with Pavlovic. 10 minutes played here in this second leg. One apiece. What a start it's been. It's 3-2 to Bayern in the tie. It's Bayern playing it across the halfway line. Tar taps it to Kimmich. And he strokes it for Lima. Bayern midway inside the Real half on the left. Diaz backwards for Kimmich. Kimmich now left footed again, rolls it for Diaz. Diaz has Lima as that support run ahead of him. It's backwards on the near side to Kimmich. Now Tar squares it in the centre circle to Upamecano. Bends it wide right to Elise. Touch it onto Stanisic. Stanisic can't control. Valverde to Rudiger. Back for Lunin. Then lifts it out of his area. Not a great lift though from Lunin. Just falls to Gnabry. Knocks it down for Elise. Elise stretches and pokes it back for Gnabry. Again square infield to Kimmich. Kimmich makes a switch and he picks out Luis Diaz, but showed too much the ball for Alexander-Arnold. Clears it only as far as Pavlovic. Inside left, 40 yards and goal. Luis Diaz. Now it's gone back into the fence to Tar. Square to Upamecano, but the Bayern defence is inside the Real half. First time from Elise. Now Kimmich wins a 50-50 after not a great Elise pass. Now Diaz lays off to Kane, the very short pass. Kane now to Lima. It's backwards to Pavlovic. Kane first time to Pavlovic. In the centre circle with Tar. So Real pinned back here. Elise in possession now. Scoop pass too high for Diaz. And it's back here with Andre Lunin. Lunin goes square to Rudiger across the box. Now Lunin in the 6-yard box. Again drills it out towards Alexander-Arnold. Deflects off Diaz. Now time for Pavlovic by the centre circle. Then a little touch to Kimmich. Now Kimmich, that's a beautiful pass in the centre circle. Now it's edge of the box with Lima. Conrad Lima, Kane on his outside. Left side of the area, Kane's cross. It's turned behind for a corner kick from Eder Militao. And Bayern looking to go in front on the night as well as extend their lead in the tie. So yeah, Navarro Arbeloa looking tense now. This side couldn't hold on to that lead they got in the first minute. Manuel Neuer gifting the ball to Arda Güler. Still great finish from Güler, had a fair bit to do. Whipping it with his left foot. So Bayern have already scored one goal from a corner kick from Kimmich from the left hand side. Is Lightning about to strike twice? So Kimmich now All prepared, Kimmich delivers towards near post, but Real Madrid headed away. Still in play, it's hooked now from Gnabry in the end. Actually, Gnabry, when he did hook it, had gone out of play, and the first header must actually deflected off a Bayern man. I thought Real Madrid headed it away. It is a goal kick to the visitors. Rudiger to Lunin. Now Militao. Here's Alexander-Arnold. A channel ball for Bellingham midway inside the Real half. And now Bellingham moving backwards. Alexander-Arnold get a high ball. Vinicius trying to run in behind. Vinicius, can he get to it? Neuer well outside his box, but clears his lines. Header from the centre circle from Goulet, controlled from Lima. Finds Diaz on the halfway line, moves back in his half. Luis Diaz. A short right foot to pass to Tar. Now Neuer. Neuer onto his left foot again. Neuer's an awful pass, but deflects on Pavlovic, and then Bellingham lifts it back onto the chest of Militao. Now Militao dispossessing Diaz. And now Real Madrid being turned over here. Lise down the right channel for Diaz. Good sliding challenge from Militao. Had to get across and make that challenge in the box. And Militao clears out for a throw for Bayern. Quickly taken on the right. So now Bayern slowly preparing a cross. Comes over Stanisic, knocks off Diaz, and a shot towards goal, tipped over. And it was great reactions there from Lunin. I think actually it might be a free kick for Real Madrid. Just before that shot was taken from Diaz, looks to be a little nudge, I think, on Militao. And it will be free kick for Real Madrid. There was indeed a nudge. So Lunin telling his team to push up it. The other Champions League quarter-final going on tonight, Arsenal against Sporting. Goalless on the night, 1-0 to Arsenal on aggregate. So looking to respond from their crushing league defeat against Bournemouth the weekend, which handed Manchester City real initiative in that title race. To play each other as well at the Etihad on Sunday. So Lunin's free kick towards the right, now controlled here from Tar. Tar looking to steam down left, and instead goes in field for Gnabry. Gnabry backwards now, it's intercepted, it's flicked from Mbappe to Bellingham. Bellingham trying to hold on to the ball. Now Bellingham dispossessed from Lima. Picks up Kane, just inside the Bayern half. Kane, one of his trademark drill passes, diagonally hit towards the right, but Mendy just seen off Elise. And Real do get the throw. Just over a quarter hour gone here in Munich. One apiece on the night. Palovic's equaliser, cancelling out Goulet's first minute goal. And Neuer's gift to him. 3-2 on aggregate for Bayern. I feel like there's a lot more twists and turns in this one to come. Mendy throws it to Vinicius. He's dispossessed now for Stanisic. Flick from Kimmich. Part up from Valverde. It's gone backwards from Mendy to Luna. Rolls it to Alexander-Arnold. Right foot to Alexander-Arnold. It's a nice pass to find Diaz in the middle of the Real half. Bellingham is hanging out on the left-hand side. Well, Real's only shot, but Bellingham hits it forwards now. Over halfway, but he took it out of play before he hit it. Then so Real's only shot, by the way, has gone in the back of net. Bayern have had 4 attempts, but again, Bayern's only shot on target and it ended up in the back of net. So just over 16 minutes on the clock. Bayern 1, Real 1 on the night. 3-2 on aggregate for the home side. It's Lima's throw. So it's down the right side now, left-hand side for Diaz. Diaz hanging on to it. Diaz goes short for Gnabry. Now it's tapped here for Lima and filled to Kimmich. Pavlovic, Bayern in centre midfield. Now it's Stanisic. Out wide right to Elise. Elise, edge of the box now. Michael Elise lifts it towards the back post. Look at Kane headed away from Alexander-Arnold. And then thumped out the box on the bounce from Jude Bellingham. And Real pinned back here. And Bayern were rocked by that early goal. Go inside the first minute, but in a great response from Bayern. Pavlovic scoring the equalisers, put Bayern back in front in the tie. So it's Neuer to Upamecano. First time pass back from Gnabry to Kimmich. Upamecano under a bit of pressure from Vinicius, but Upamecano gets it clear. Controlled now with the right knee of Rudiger. It's Whitford and Goulet. And now chance of Mbappe. Bit of a tight angle, his shot went wide. It was a great ball down the left channel from Real. Was Goulet, fun Mbappe. I think Mbappe might be in half a yard off there. So it's a short goal kick from Bayern. Now Pavlovic has it just behind halfway. Kimmich into the centre circle. Kimmich pressurising Bellingham, so uses Upamecano's help. Cross to Pavlovic, brings it over halfway. And now to Diaz, midway in the Real half. Prods it back inside to Pavlovic. Kimmich and just knocks it back right-footed to Pavlovic. Square in the centre circle to Upamecano. Again, midway into the Real half. Short for Elise. And now Upamecano's pass deflects off of Goulet. Now, again, Bayern have it back with Elise. Just over 35 yards from goal. Squares it, cross midfield to Pavlovic. Now, wide left with Diaz. And he cut in. And Luis Diaz now up against Brahim Diaz. Now Luis Diaz drills in low cross, cuts out from Militao. And then Brahim Diaz saying he was fouled. Loose ball force of Valverde. Real Madrid now inside left, coming up towards the centre circle. In the half, Mbappe knocks it back for Valverde. Now Real just slowing it down with Jude Bellingham. Mendy, side to Valverde. Pass over halfway to Bellingham. Now it's a lovely pass to pick out Mbappe. Just the 2-1, slips up, then it's deflected off a Lima anyway. But Mbappe with a huge chance there. It was a great ball for Vinicius, played it behind Mbappe. Timed this run to perfection. But he just had a slip and Lima got across actually when it was shot from Mbappe, deflected back off the Frenchman. So it's a Bayern goal kick. Now it's played short and now it's Kimmich just behind the halfway line to Gnabry. And there's that floating roll for Bayern. They played it short for Elise. Just about level with the centre circle. Elise now driving forwards there. Still Michael Elise. Elise, great slide challenge there from Bellingham. So it's Diaz to Bellingham. Laid off from Vinicius. Now over the top from Goulet to Vinicius. Midway in the Bayern half, it's Vinicius wide left up against Upamecano. On the touchline at the moment, Vinicius now gets around Upamecano. Good sliding challenge there for Upamecano. Stretching his right leg to win off of Vinicius. Now Bayern play it down the right. Pass from Upamecano takes the deflection. That was great defending there from Adeo Upamecano. Had to get across and dispossessed Vinicius Jr. excellently inside the penalty area. And he was a top job there from Upamecano. And so Mbappe's shot, which deflected off a Lima, the officials thought it came back off Mbappe. I thought Lima did get the last touch, and Real Madrid should have had a corner kick. So just over 20 minutes played it at the Allianz Arena. 1-1 on the night, and 3-2 to Bayern in the tie. Go for Stanisic, bounces away from Gnabry. Header from Rudiger. A touch from Bellingham now to Mendy, who's on the halfway line. Here's Valverde, deepest of the midfielders. Alexander-Arnold into the centre circle. Backwards to Militao. Square for Valverde. And now Valverde again drifting inside. Valverde picks up Goulet. And Real Madrid just knocking it about their own half at the moment. Rudiger to Goulet. Arda Goulet shifts it onto his left foot. Turns again Goulet. Just a few yards by his side as Militao uses him. Goulet again just walking with the ball inside his half. Goes square for Militao. Now to his right to Alexander-Arnold on halfway to Mbappe. First line to Bellingham. Return to Mbappe. Takes heavy touch but skips over the challenger Gnabry. And it's in the Real defence with Militao. Drills a nice ball out to Mendy. First touch with his left foot. Gets away from Stanisic. Now Mendy slowed himself down just over halfway. Goulet finds a ball on the inside left for Valverde. Now Mendy, it's the box. Fell on Mendy. Needs support. Holding on to it. Mendy turns, goes down inside the area. And the referee has waved the appeals away. So Bayern play it out the area. Now they're over halfway with Kane from Elise's pass. Kane now. He picks out Diaz in the middle. Lies passing Kane. Diaz now. Inside right with Elise. Elise got the ball caught under his foot, which meant that Real get a couple more men back. Kane, edge of the box on the right-hand side. And Kane knocks it off of Rudiger. Off his right foot for a corner kick. The Bayern and Mendy. Again, Tart. He did have his hands around Mendy. Was it enough? Mendy to go down the way he did, well, VAR, you're not going to take a look at it. So corner on the right-hand side for Bayern. We'll be taking it from Michael Elise. So Elise to just pass the corner in towards Kane, but just beaten from Mendy. Ball rolls loose, and Mendy blocks a shot. It came for the right boot of Joshua Kimmich inside the penalty area. Really good idea there from Michael Elise just to pass the corner in. Kane was peeling off, Mendy just got to it. And then when Mendy intercepted it, it rolled to Kimmich, and Mendy blocked Kimmich's powerful effort with his right foot. So another bite of the cherry for Elise to put in a corner kick. So it's towards near post, headed away from the visitors. And then Diaz clears out the penalty area. Vinicius tries to control. In the end, failed to do so. Tried to control the ball whilst turning. Hard skill to do. And even the player Vinicius quality can pull that off. Short go to Upamecano from Stanisic. Kimmich now just by the centre circle. Kimmich square for Upamecano. Kimmich by the centre circle, right-footed to Gnabry. Again, backwards to Kimmich now. It's over halfway, still in the centre circle. Daisy cuts a pass and Kimmich finds Diaz out on the near side. Diaz cuts inside of Alexander-Arnold, but the flag is up though against Luis Diaz. It was a great pass. Joshua Kimmich. One of those lovely daisy cutter passes from the centre circle. Found Diaz, the flag went up. I'll tell you what, that was extremely tight against Luis Diaz. So Real take the free kick from the penalty area. Militao drills it, looking for Vinicius, being held off from Upamecano, and then makes his way back to Neuer. Overarm throw to Pavlovic. His equaliser has Bayern leading the tie on the night. So there's a lovely pass over halfway, the right foot of Kimmich. Now Bayern inside left for Lima. Goes and is outside to Diaz. Again, drifts inside. Bayern slowing things down in central midfield with Kimmich. 30 yards and goal. Plants it out now to Elise. Elise into the box. Elise goes to curler shot, deflects. And out for a corner kick for Bayern with 20 minutes to go in this first half of the second leg. Bayern 1, Real 1. 3-2 on aggregate in Bayern's favour. Corner on the left-hand side for Joshua Kimmich to take. And can Bayern turn it around on the night and extend their lead in the tie to 4-2? Kimmich now right arm raised, all ready to take this in swing from the left-hand side. Kimmich towards the back post. Lunin was leaning back. He's got a hand onto it, and it's deflected out for a corner kick to Bayern. Lunin saying he was fouled. Arda Güler questioned the referee as well. So corner came in. Lunin got a fingertip to it. Or actually came off Rudiger's right foot and bounced off Bellingham. That's why it's a corner kick taken short from Bayern. So Kimmich to Elise. It's a no-look pass just behind him for Lima. Again, Elise. Wide right. Elise pass it in the box. Now Kimmich on the half turn. Kimmich shot. Really good effort, but good save. Lunin got a strong right hand onto that. And Joshua Kimmich whipped it. Left-footed. Lunin full stretch down to his right-hand side. And as I said, immediately after happening, got a strong hand onto that Lunin. That was definitely heading into the bottom corner. It's all Bayern at the moment. They're in control of this tie. Leading it by 3-2. One apiece on the night. Kimmich's delivery towards near post, headed away. Balls to Mbappe, deep in his half now. Mbappe to Güler. Now Real can counter. Here they come over halfway. And now inside left for Diaz. Now wide left, Vinicius puts the ball towards Mbappe. Punched away for Neuer. Mbappe keeps it alive, lifts it towards the D. It's headed away from Pavlovic. So now it's Real's turn to be on the front foot. Vinicius, 23 yards and goal. Vinicius inside left, finds Diaz, just beyond the D. Diaz, tidy feet to get past Lima. Lima tripped Diaz up in the referee's eyes. So free kick in a very close position for Real. It looked to be a trip. Looked to be a definite trip there. And Neuer with a vital punch away. Vinicius crossed on the counter-attack a moment ago. So Real have a free kick in dead centre, just behind the D. So the question is, who will try and test Manuel Neuer or Fede Valverde? And he's walked away, so it will be Alexander-Arnold or Güler to take. Can Güler get his second of the night to bring Real level? Once again, this tie. They were level for 5 minutes in this tie, but this evening, fine hit back for a Pavlovic header from a corner kick. So, free kick. Güler standing square on. And it's just behind the D. Real take. Güler takes it on. Oh, it's in! Spectacular from Arda Güler! He's got his second of the night! And Real are level in the tie again on the evening. What a free kick from Arda Güler! That's a hard one to execute as well. With how close it was to the penalty area to get it up and down so quickly. Neuer got a hand to it, but failed to keep it out. What a second leg this has been so far. Güler up and over the wall, but it was a really good free kick, but Manuel Neuer should be dealing with that, in my opinion. Again, Güler got the technique spot on, but Manuel Neuer got a strong left hand onto that. For me, he's got to be keeping that out, but take nothing away from the free kick from Arda Güler. Still really good technique. Has to do his job to cause that moment for Manuel Neuer to not get strong enough hand. So half hour played, and the tie is level again at 3 apiece. And Kane flicks on, and Lunin grabs it. And Arda Güler, he's actually only scored 2 goals in the competition this season, but both at the vital time, the first half hour of this second leg. So it's Lunin goes long, headed away from Upamecano. Bounces out for a throw on the left-hand side for Real Madrid. Arda Güler, what a future he has ahead of him. He's had to wait patiently for a game time at Real Madrid since he came over, but he's getting that groove now, being a more regular member of the side. As Real go back to Lunin. Square for Militao. Whips it down the right. Header inside from Diaz. Pavlovic beats Güler to it. Kimmich now, 35 yards and goal. Elise rolls it towards Gnabry. Intercepted though from Rudiger. Back now with Pavlovic. There's Diaz. Again, edge of the box on the left, being forced further to the touchline. Good tackle there from Trent Alexander-Arnold. It's his former Liverpool teammate. It did deflect off of Alexander-Arnold last. Quite hard to see the naked eye whether it did, but Lima takes the throw. Backwards to Pavlovic. Tart by the centre circle. 31.5 minutes of football play in this second leg. Bayern 1, Real 2 on the night. 3 apiece on aggregate as Bayern have it wide right with Elise. Elise kind of trying to cut inside of Mendy. Gives it to Kimmich. And now Lima, a few yards away from the D. Now Diaz. Back inside. Pavlovic, 23 yards and goal. Again, clips it to Elise. Edge of the box on the right. Elise's ball in. Headed away at the back stick for Militao against Kane. A turn from Lima's pass blocked. Then Bellingham with a brilliant sliding challenge on Diaz. And then Lima comes in to make a tackle on Valverde. But Valverde plays it down the right for Bellingham. And now can Real counter. Bellingham now to Diaz. Brahim Diaz looks towards the centre. His pass is blocked though for Gnabry. Kimmich backwards to Neuer. And Neuer smashes it left-footed. Too far away from Diaz. It's a nice layoff from Alexander-Arnold to Rudiger. Mendy just behind halfway. And now Vinicius. Vinicius looks from Mbappe in behind. That's a stretching cutout. The right foot move from Upamecano. Looks into midfield to Kimmich. Finds it. In the middle of the Bayern half, close to the centre circle. Pavlovic. Pavlovic now is over halfway. Pavlovic right-footed. So wide left for Diaz. Ball inside, cut out from Alexander-Arnold. Now Brahim Diaz finds Vinicius in the centre circle. Here come Real. Vinicius. Vinicius slows himself down. Vinicius then dispossessed from Kimmich, and now Pavlovic to Kane. Kane turns just inside his half. Kane short to Diaz. Now it's given to Lima. Lima square for Kimmich. On the half turn is Pavlovic. Pavlovic now to Tar. Pavlovic again. Square just front halfway to Lima. Now is Kimmich. Kimmich walks the ball into the Real half. Here's Gnabry. Square for Kimmich. Again, Bayern moving it slowly across the middle. Now Kimmich out to left to Diaz. Diaz slowly approaching a penalty area. Goes back for Kimmich. Just under 30 yards from goal. Joshua Kimmich now bends it out to Elise. And what's the 34th minute? Elise, short pass in the box now for Stanisic. Now it's a shot for Gnabry, edge of the box. It's a tame one. And easy there for Lunin to just get behind it and gather it. And it's short for Lunin to Rudiger. Mendy. It is Arda Güler. The man of the moment so far. Again is Güler deep inside his half. Flicks up in the air. Arda Güler by the corner flag. Needs to get it away. Güler's so calm though, Arda Güler. Hits off for Stanisic, and I suppose what was the worrying? What's the sort of worrying what Güler was going to do all about there, because he was so calm when he flicked up in the air, always had control of the ball. Hit it off for Stanisic, and it is a Real throw by the corner flag, but it fell on Mendy to take. Mendy takes the throw, Chester from Güler. Rudiger again by the corner flag. Gnabry all over him. Then Gnabry goes down. The lines have put his flag up. I think it's a free kick against Gnabry actually. Need to push on Rudiger first. Arsenal still leading the other quarter-final. Goal to nil on aggregates. Goalless on the night. And Kai Havertz stoppage time goal to win the first leg. And you can imagine the atmosphere will be tense at the Emirates though, as it is at the Allianz Arena. Bayern trailing on the night by 2-1, 3 apiece on aggregate. So free kick for Lunin. Down the left-hand side. Can't find Mbappe. Easy header down for Stanisic. Now Pavlovic knocks it back in set from Brahim Diaz. Now Bayern have it back with Elise. Now it's a pass to Stanisic, deflects backwards and out of play. But the Bayern throw. Stanisic takes short, drill from Kimmich, but trapped from Alexander-Arnold in the centre circle. Looks into midfield to Bellingham. Now sweeps it wide left for Mbappe. Has Vinicius standing almost on his toes. Mbappe facing out Upamecano. Has Vinicius in behind him. He uses Vinicius. Standing challenge from Upamecano. Touch from Diaz, then cleared from Stanisic. Takes the deflection off of Mbappe. And that will be a throw for Bayern. To be honest, if you offer both teams going at half-time this situation, I think they would take it. So regroup at the break. Here's Pavlovic now. Pavlovic over halfway to Diaz. Again, down the left here for Lima. Lima trying to get around Güler. Lima does that. Lima into the box. Lima, can he get a shot off? Lima squares it, but cleared away for Valverde ahead of Kane. So Bellingham lifts it forwards. Now Stanisic running onto it. Stanisic inside right. Into the box. Stanisic a shot on target. Push away for Lunin. Stanisic crosses. It's blocked from Mendy. Bayern appealing for handball. Nothing given. Elise, 23 yards and goal. Ball towards the back post. Diaz heads down when it dropped for Kane. Kane is back towards goal. Holding on to it. Turns in the D. Touch from Lima. Diaz can't get a shot off. It's been cleared away from Valverde. So Bayern on the front foot here. Tar in the middle. Short for Kimmich. Clipped out now for Stanisic. Nods it back. Elise lets it bounce. Elise gets the toe in onto it. Now Upamecano striding towards the box. Upamecano finds Kane. Kane to make it 2-piece. And Bayern lead the tie again. 4-3. What a tie this is. But what a pass from Deo Upamecano. He just strided forwards for just over midway inside the Real Madrid half. And picked out the perfect ball inside the box, Harry Kane. And Kane opened up his body and just wrong-footed Andre Lunin to tuck it into the bottom right corner. So Bayern lead the tie by 4 goals to 3. 2-2 on the night. And the twists and turns so far in this second leg have been outstanding. Well, it all started, Kimmich clipping out towards the right, Stanisic headed back. Then Elise just got his toe onto it, and Upamecano strided forwards on the inside right. That was a lovely pass in between Real Madrid's defensive midfield. Deo Upamecano on Pit the lock. The Frenchman found Harry Kane. Harry Kane, by the way, unmarked inside the penalty area. This is one of the Champions League's top scorers. Left unmarked, criminal. As Harry Kane makes it goal number 12 in the Champions League this season. With the sliding celebration in front of his own fans. Andre Lunin furious with his defence, and he has every right to be. That was abysmal marking from Real Madrid. And Mbappe with the plaster over his right eye, looks to heavens in frustration. But Real Madrid still right in this one. So Lunin drives out towards Alexander-Arnold. Bellingham now goes to the long-range pass, is blocked from Diaz. Bellingham again turns. Jude Bellingham. Great athleticism again for Bellingham. Bellingham now. Great ball carrying skills now. Alexander-Arnold into the box. Alexander-Arnold cuts it back. Can't find Mbappe. And Real Madrid could have led for the 3rd time this evening. Here's Kane deep inside his half. He turns. He's caught there, Harry Kane. And it will be a free kick. The referee straight across as well to show a yellow card to Eder Militao. And we're sticking to Harry Kane all the way. And sharp turn for Kane. A sore one to take on his ankle. Militao striking right through the back of Kane's right leg. And that was a real painful one for Harry Kane there. Without a doubt, the right decision to yellow card Eder Militao. But this is by far the most entertaining quarter-final of the evening. And 2 apiece on the night. 4-3 to Bayern on aggregate. And that's for Arsenal Sporting. It's goalless on the night and only 1-0 to Arsenal on aggregate in that tie. So Bayern take the free kick on the left-hand side, midway in their half. Kimmich down the left, headed away from Militao. And fake flick on from Bellingham to Diaz. Diaz now, the lifted bouncing ball to Vinicius. Left side of the box, Vinicius tight angles off the bar. What an effort from Vinicius. As I said, the angle was tight, but he managed to get a really clean left-footed strike off. Over the top from Diaz. Yeah, pass went over the top of Upamecano. Vinicius drilled it, platted off the top of the bar. On the left side of the penalty areas, but Real win the ball back on the inside left. Bellingham to Mbappe. Here's Brahim Diaz, edge of the box. Now inside it, Diaz. Angle to get across and being closed down. Tackle from Luis Diaz. Now Lima to Luis Diaz. Down the left. Lovely flick from Kane. Oh, an even better flick from Elise. Kane now in the centre circle. Bayern need more men coming forwards. Now Kane is hanging on to it. Short for Stanisic. Upamecano over halfway to the Bayern right back. It goes at Stanisic. A little step over. Midway into the Real half. Gives it to Gnabry. Poor touch from Gnabry. Cleared away from the D from Militao. Header from Upamecano. Heavy touch from Kane on the far side. Bellingham now. Down the left for Vinicius. Up against Tar. Vinicius into the area. Vinicius sets off for Mbappe. Mbappe puts it through the legs of Manuel Neuer. What a Champions League tie this is. This is turning into one of the classics. And we've only played 42 minutes of the second leg. It's 4 apiece on aggregate. 3-2 to Real on the night. Incredible. Bayern caught on the counter-attack. Vinicius and Mbappe combined. And Mbappe held this nerve just to roll it between the legs of Manuel Neuer. Well, Bayern have a man down. It was Stanisic with a few step-overs. Gave it to Gnabry. Stanisic went down just after making that pass. And then Bayern, Real started the counter. Bellingham whipped it perfectly down the left for Vinicius into the box, had the free run of Mbappe in the middle of the penalty area and just put it through the legs of Manuel Neuer to make it 3-2 to Real Madrid on the night, and 4 apiece on aggregate. Incredible stuff. Well, I said about 25 minutes ago I felt there was going to be a lot more twists in this game, and my word, hasn't there been. Kylian Mbappe, goal number 15 in the Champions League, and he has his 3-goal cushion over Kane in the Golden Boot race again. So is there another goal in this for half-time? Vincent Kompany yellow carded. He felt Stanisic was fouled, and also Vincent Kompany should Bayern get through, he will serve a touchline ban for that one. So Kylian Mbappe, a quick word with the teammate before we get back on the way. Breathless stuff here at the Allianz Arena, in one of the fantastic Champions League grounds, and it's playing nice to one of the fantastic second legs that stand. Whip for Neuer, headed away from Rudiger, and nodded from Kimmich. Volley from Valverde towards the centre circle, stretching, touch from Tar. All miscontrolled there from Lima, and there's Real Madrid on the right here with Mbappe. Mbappe now to Bellingham. Bellingham puts the cross towards near post, too close to Manuel Neuer, and Real Madrid trying to lead the tie for the first time. Throw for Neuer to Stanisic. Stanisic now backwards to Upamecano. Just a light pass to Kimmich, just head of the D. Now square to Tar. Bring it out from the back. Tar finds Lima on halfway. Conrad Lima, and backwards for Pavlovic. Pavlovic moves it in field to Kimmich. Back to Lima. Here's Pavlovic just ahead of halfway. Pavlovic now to the feet of Upamecano. Works it to Gnabry. 2 minutes of stoppage time in this first half. It's Bayern 2, Real 3 on the night, and 4-all on aggregate. Kimmich inside right. Is there one more goal before the break? Gnabry trying to combine with Kimmich. That's broken down. Flick for Vinicius. Goulet now is on a hat-trick. Can't flick it forwards, and he's had it taken away from Stanisic. Here's Kimmich. Bayern at the moment just walking with the ball. So Real just in the defensive shape. Trying to see this out to half-time. Real. Upamecano. Square for Pavlovic. Now it's the wide left to Diaz. Luis Diaz drifting in. First time pass to Kimmich, just behind the D, blocked. Here's Vinicius, turns in the middle of the Real half. Now Real over halfway. Brahim Diaz takes heavy touch, shows too much for it to Pavlovic. He links up with Tar. Now it's with Gnabry. Now Elise just behind halfway. So we have 50 seconds of stoppage time this first half to go. Can Bayern get back in front again this time? Elise goes long, that just bounces. It's the answer, Lunin. Real will just take their time with this. Lunin just picks up the ball with 30 seconds left. First half stoppage time. Lunin just telling his teammates to push up higher and higher. No rush here for Real. And the referee just doing the countdown for Lunin. Searching for Mbappe. Ball bouncing on Real's inside right. Nodded from Lima. And that couldn't be controlled properly from Pavlovic. That just came off his right boot on the bounce, and outplay for a Real throw. And there goes the half-time whistle. Wow. What a first half in this second leg. It is 4 apiece in the tie and 3-2 to Real Madrid on the night. They opened the scoring in the opening minute. It was a gift from Manuel Neuer straight to Arda Güler. He was on the inside left Güler, about 30 yards out. Went for the first time there, whipped into the empty net. Neuer left stranded. Pavlovic responded 5 minutes later. Again, Lunin caught in no man's land. The Kimmich's corner from the left, and Pavlovic is headed in on the goal line. Arda Güler with a free kick just behind the hour mark. Neuer got a strong left hand to it. It was still a really good free kick from Güler. just beyond the box, got it up and over quickly. Neuer should have kept it out though. Harry Kane got his 12th Champions League goal of the season, but Bayern back in front of the tie. What a pass it was from Upamecano to play it through the Real defence midfield. Found Kane free inside the penalty area and just tucked it into the bottom corner. But then Kylian Mbappe, 4 minutes later, got Real back in front of the night and levelling up the tie again. It was a surging counter-attack from Real. Bellingham over halfway. Vincent Kompany thought Stanisic was fouled in the build-up. It wasn't given. Bellingham found Vinicius. Vinicius had the run of Mbappe in the middle, picked it out. Mbappe one touch with his right and tucked it under Neuer's legs with his left. An outstanding first half in this second leg here at the Allianz Arena. It's Bayern 2, Real Madrid 3, and 4 apiece on aggregate. What a second half. Hello everyone and welcome back to the Allianz Arena. Are we ready for another 45 minutes of this? As it stands, there'll be more than that in this tie if we cannot find a winner, of course, in normal time. What an incredible first half of the second leg. It's 3-2 to Real Madrid on the night. Arda Güler with 2 of Real Madrid's goals. Pavlovic and Kane both replied to that Güler double, then Kylian Mbappe put Real Madrid back in front on the night. So 4-piece on aggregate, and you do feel there'll be more twist in this tie to go on. Joseph Stanisic is off by way for Alphonso Davies, so that is the first substitution made of the night. So we are ready for the second half to kick off. It will be the Los Blancos to get us underway. Kylian Mbappe's 15th Champions League goal of the season. And he's ready to kick us off for the second half here. Again, Real Madrid been looking to get their nose in front in this tie for the first time. So Mbappe gets the second half underway, strokes it back to Andre Lunin. Lunin's long ball sent towards Bellingham, too high. Now it's with Alphonso Davies. Now it's long from Neuer, the first attempt. Headed away from Militao. Or lovely touch from Güler on a hat-trick in the middle. Couldn't quite find Vinicius. Headed away from Bayern. Now Kimmich forwards. There's a definite knock into the back of Serge Gnabry by Antonio Rudiger there. And it will be a free kick taken quickly from Bayern. Gnabry. Now square here on the left-hand side for Diaz. Diaz down the line. Here is Davies. Davies cuts it back towards Kane, taken away from him. Maybe a chance for Bayern to get a shot on. Shot on, scores, blocked, and goes behind. It was Serge. It was Luis Diaz, I think, who took that on. And great play from Bayern. Quickly down the left-hand side. It was a Diaz who got a shot out of his feet. Took a deflection. Lunin was wrong-footed. Just trickled wide of his right-hand post. So Bayern right on the front foot, looking to get there, leading this tie back again. So Harry Kane and Antonio Rudiger both called across by the referee Slavko Vincic. So still a bit of tangling going on. Seeing that's Kane and Ferland Mendy now. So corner ready now to be taken from the left-hand side from Bayern. Head over the bar at the back post by Deo Upamecano. Great opportunity for Bayern in the first couple of minutes in this second half. Upamecano couldn't keep his header down. It was Luis Diaz, by the way, with the effort. Just about a minute ago now, just deflected off Jude Bellingham and out for a corner kick, and Upamecano headed over the resulting corner, but Bayern made a bright start to the second half. A trail on the night, 3 goals to, but it is 4-4 in the tie. So Lunin looking for Bellingham, wins a flick on. Now held up here from Mbappe to give it to Güler. Güler keeps it in the centre circle, good protecting the ball from Güler. Now on the stretch, just pokes it into the feet of Mendy. Valverde makes some space for himself in the centre circle. Alexander-Arnold just over halfway. Bellingham, his fellow countryman, very good friend, now back into defence to Militao. Rudiger into his left to Mendy. Mendy goes short to Vinicius. Vinicius through the legs of Elise, back to Mendy. Real midway inside their half. First time from Rudiger. Güler, can he go down line? Good closing down there from Deo Upamecano. It will be a throw for Real to take. In fact, actually, it's not a throw, it's a goal kick. Goal kick in the end for the visitors. And Mbappe just talks to the linesman about something. Quite sure the issue is. By the way, in the other quarter-finals, currently Arsenal 0, Sporting 0 on the night. Arsenal have the advantage on an aggregate by a goal to 0. Kai Havertz getting that stoppage time winner in the first leg. So Lunin with the goal kick for Real. Bellingham beaten in the air. Header forwards off of Valverde from the centre. Kimmich heads backwards, and now Diaz inside right. 25 yards and goal. Diaz now wide right and leaves it for Mbappe. In fact, actually, it came off I thought it came off a Bayern player. It is a Real throw, so Diaz knocked that towards Mbappe, came off a Bayern man. And Mbappe now throw taken from Alexander-Arnold. Militao drills towards Vinicius, headed away and out the box. In the end from Bayern, and there was a push there on Serge Gnabry midway in Bayern's half. And it will be a free kick for the home side. It's hit the Allianz Arena, 4.5 minutes played of the second half. And speaking of the number 4, they are locked at 4 apiece on aggregate. So it is Joshua Kimmich and drills the free kick. He looks for Diaz, just bounce off of Diaz. He was saying he was pushed, nothing given. And it's back now for Militao to Lunin towards the left-hand side. Just too high for Mendy. So Bayern throw. Take it from Lima's move to right back with Stanisic coming off. It's short from Upamecano. Against deflected pass from Lima, out of play. For Bayern throw, midway in Real's half, taken now from Elise. Gnabry driving into the centre. Tidy feet for Gnabry, now backwards into the centre circle to Stanisic. It's the feet of Pavlovic, as I say. Now Diaz on the byline, cuts it back, but Pavlovic, square for Kimmich. Kimmich now, again Bayern, edge of the box here with Gnabry. Now he's facing away from goal. Gnabry holds on to it, now it's Kimmich, and Bayern moving it further and further backwards. Now Tar, when he goes forwards to the inside right to Lima. That's wide on that side with Elise. Now he's edge of the box, Elise, just inside the area. Now drags it out of it. Elise needs support. Again, just rolls it down the right for Lima. Conrad Lima, again, Mendy all over his back, but Bayern still have it. Elise to Lima on the byline. Goulet to Rudiger, and Rudiger just clears away first time, left-footed. And again, Bayern have Real pinned back here. So throw from Upamecano now, just ahead of halfway is Tar in the centre circle. Pavlovic almost gave it away, but Kimmich steps ahead of Mbappe. Just to clip it back for Neuer. So it's Tar being chased down for Vinicius. Upamecano, space to move towards the halfway line. Squares it on halfway to Kimmich, back with Upamecano. Tar taps it to Kimmich, being chased down from looks to be Goulet pressing well there. Now Bayern, they're over the halfway line with Pavlovic. And down the left flank for Diaz. Goes behind him towards Pavlovic. Pavlovic now dispossessed. That's a great tackle from Bellingham. Well, actually, I spoke too soon. I thought Bellingham got the ball, but the officials have given a free kick. Pavlovic down holding his ankle. It looked like Bellingham did catch it, so I think there is the right decision given there. There's Bayern take the short free kick, and now they're in the centre circle with Kimmich. Upamecano goes short to Lima, inside right, 35 yards and goal. Upamecano forwards again, in the middle for Gnabry. Now Kimmich, but Kane to hold up, he's facing his own goal. Bellingham puts the tackle in on his fellow countryman. That's a foul on Militao. There's a prick ball forwards from Real towards Vinicius, and too quick for the referee's liking. He's chatting here with a few players as Kane slid towards the ball. Militao went down holding his face, and I completely agree with Harry Kane. He put his hand on his head in disbelief. There was no contact on Militao, absolutely nothing. Militao's completely bought a free kick, and completely understand in particular the fury of Harry Kane and Vincent Kompany about that. A pretty smart decision actually for Kompany to bring off Stanisic, considering he was the only Bayern player on a yellow card. Can't be running that risk in this sort of game, especially. Rudiger takes the free kick across the back line. Alexander-Arnold, a long ball towards Mbappe. Mbappe was always getting away from him. Just came off his toe in that. In fact, actually, Mbappe's got a corner kick though. It came off his toe in, but bounced off of Tadeo Upamecano last in the battle of the Frenchman. And Alexander-Arnold going direct over the top. And Mbappe actually came off his time, and then he actually came off the right knee of Davis, not Upamecano, beg your pardon. So a corner kick for Trent Alexander-Arnold to take from the right-hand side. 54 minutes played. Bayern 2, Real 3 on the night, 4 apiece on aggregate. Corner in front, Alexander-Arnold bounces across and cleared away from Pavlovic out the 6-yard box. Now Bayern maybe countered Diaz. The ball can't off his back though. So Valverde down the line. Drill from Alexander-Arnold towards the back post. Falling towards goal, saved. And Bayern clear. It is Vinicius. Can't beat Lima. Now down the line to Elise. Elise's over halfway line. Now Elise being forced out wide. Elise tucks in the middle for Kane. Kane now sliding through towards Gnabry, too far. And of Serge Gnabry, here's Fede Valverde. Now Bellingham. First time from Goulet. Vinicius has kept in play. He has done. Goulet square for Rudiger. Now Real lose it just beyond the centre circle with Brahim Diaz. Luis Diaz. Now left side of the box with Alphonso Davies. Davies turns, neat supported Davies. Inside to Kimmich. Bayern just over 25 yards from goal with Pavlovic. Now to the left. Davies has it. Then back for Kimmich. Square to Pavlovic. Pavlovic now to Lima inside right. Edge of the box is Elise. Elise cuts in. Gnabry now to Pavlovic. Bayern move it backwards to Upamecano, but a light touch forwards in the middle for Elise. Looks over top towards Kane in the box, headed away from Militao. Elise again. 25 yards from goal in the centre. There's a white wall in front of him. Kimmich square first time with the right foot of Pavlovic. To Davies. So Bayern. And edge of the box on the left with Davies. Goes backwards to Pavlovic. 11 minutes into the second half. Bayern 2, Real 3 on the night. 4 apiece on aggregate. Real could have been in front a minute ago. Alexander-Arnold drilled it towards the back post. A volley towards goal. Straight at Neuer. A teammate, and now Elise cuts in. Gives it to Kimmich. Kimmich ball towards the back post. Caught from Andre Luna. Now rolls it. They gone Real with Brahim Diaz. Diaz over halfway now. Through the centre. Control from Mbappe. Mbappe driving the Bayern backline. Mbappe's shot blocked from Tar. It's looped up in the air. Bounces back into the box now. Header for Kimmich. Chasing onto it is Alexander-Arnold. Takes on his chest, and it got away from Alexander-Arnold. And it will be a free kick for Bayern to push there from the right back. Breathless stuff. There's a volley from Mbappe. That was saved for Neuer. Big moment a couple of minutes ago. What a first line ball though from Trent Alexander-Arnold. Mbappe hit the volley down into the ground. And Neuer pushed it away with his right hand to keep Bayern level in this tie. And they've not trailed once in this tie. Now here's Bayern on the ball with Davis. Of course, they are trailing on the night. They've trailed 3 times on the night. Here's Kimmich in the centre circle. So Kimmich square for Pavlovic now on the left-hand side. Pavlovic dinks it forwards. Alphonso Davies on the run. Militao's across. Militao keeps it in play, close to the corner flag. Militao just goes down the line, bounces out for a throw to Bayern, just ahead of halfway. Pavlovic on the half-turn. Pavlovic picks out past the inside right, 35 yards from goal with Lima. Now Lise, facing away from goal. Square now in the centre to Pavlovic. Not to Davis. Here's Diaz on the inside left. And now Kimmich. And just prods it right-footed just by his side is Pavlovic. Bayern 23 yards from goal with Kane on the left. Kane just goes backwards though to Tar. Doesn't really have anywhere to go, Harry Kane. Tar again in the centre circle, linking up with Pavlovic. Now Gnabry loses possession. Bayern quickly win it back though. Now Gnabry on the ball again. Gnabry into the centre circle. Kane facing his own half, quickly plays it back to Pavlovic. And now Davis into the box. Davis is past deflects off of Arda Güler. And grasp from Andre Lunin. As Bayern preparing to bring on Jamal Musiala. Mendy. And it's a pass to Vinicius. Now flicks inside to the run of Ferland Mendy. Mendy into the centre circle. He's tackled, but it breaks here now for Güler. Mbappe right side of the penalty area. Kylian Mbappe, little step over, gets beyond Tar. Mbappe cuts it back and it's turned behind for a corner kick by Alphonso Davies. Again, it's such an open tie, this. So Eduardo Camavinga will be the player brought on for Real Madrid. The tie is locked at 4-piece with Real leading on the night by 3-2. Other quarter-final, Arsenal Sporting goalless on the night there, with Arsenal leading on aggregate by 1-0. So corner for Real to take from the far side. Alexander-Arnold, the outswing that comes in. Headed from Militao, loops towards the back post and easily caught from Manuel Neuer. So Neuer just taking his time, had an awful first half. Neuer gifting Güler the goal in the opening minute, and then should have said Güler's free kick. Now it's a ball for Gnabry, searching one, couldn't quite find Diaz. Great idea though for Gnabry, who's just ahead of halfway, trying to set away Luis Diaz, but could sweep a keeper job from Lunin to clear his line. So Jamal Musiala to enter the stage for Bayern. He's off for Serge Gnabry. Struggled to make a massive impact tonight, Gnabry. And Musiala reduced the goods off the bench. He's on the pitch now, Musiala. Just over an hour gone in this second leg. Camavinga to come on as well. And all on aggregate. 3-2 in the tie to Real Madrid. So Camavinga just had those fresh legs in central midfield. So the Brahim Diaz making way for Camavinga. So again, Camavinga, someone who just really good at everything that midfield, really. Survival player to bring on. There's Diaz just getting a few high fives to teammates on the bench and staff as well. So free kick for Eder Militao to take. Square to Rudiger. Militao again. Backwards for Andre Lunin. Now floated towards Real Madrid's left. Flicked an in play from Güler. Now Mendy beaten to it. Bayern. Edge of the box here. It's a pass to Musiala. And Diaz has it taken away from his feet. He was free to take a shot on. But Alexander-Arnold trapped back to nick it away. Vital nick away there from Alexander-Arnold. Had to get that one right. So it's long now from Real, headed away. And now Camavinga hits it off of Musiala. That touch from Alexander-Arnold was extremely vital. As Diaz would have got a shot off Real, playing it across the back. Militao now to Alexander-Arnold, cuts in. So now Real over halfway. Alexander-Arnold still on the ball. Looks at Mbappe in the forward line, intercepted from Upamecano. Now Elise backwards to Tar. Tar across the left, and now Bayern driving towards the halfway line with Hadlovic. Now given away in the centre circle. And now we've got Real on the counter. Mbappe, Vinicius into the box. Vinicius tight angle. And he hits that into the Bayern crowd. It was a decent opportunity there for Vinicius, but could only find the Bayern fans instead of the back of the net. Bayern tipped the goal kick quickly. 63 minutes played here at the Allianz Arena. Bayern 2, Real 3 on the night. 4-4 on aggregate. Here's Lima inside right. Now on his outside to Elise, approaching the box. Inside it, Elise in the middle towards Lima. Can he get his touch right? Too heavy. Cleared away from Militao. Upamecano steps forwards and knocks it to Kimmich. Tar now exits the centre circle. Tar short for Davis. Now out to Diaz. Diaz short for Kane. 23 yards to goal. Finds a pass indeed to Elise, but Elise's pass blocked from Camavinga. Lima, here's Kimmich in the middle. Upamecano lifts it over Vinicius. Pavlovic now just ahead of him is Davis. Again, infield to Diaz. Diaz behind him to Kimmich. He's now right in the middle, facing out towards the right and gives it to Elise on that side. Elise through the gap from Mbappe and Mendy to Kimmich. Just over 25 yards from goal. Once more, Joshua Kimmich in possession. Left-footed Real in a compact shape for the time being. Pavlovic to Kimmich, the two centre midfielders just combining. Kimmich over the top of the box, header met from Kane. Volleyed away from Bellingham, it's deflects to Kimmich though. Now Lima inside right, on the edge of the area. Elise cuts into the box, down the edge of it again. Keeps away from Mbappe, despite Mbappe getting a toe in onto the ball. Mbappe attempts to tackle, Elise gets to pass away quickly to Lima. Back to Elise. So Bayern, middle third of Real's half. Now Kimmich looks to play in behind. It was a good run there from Davis from left back. But in the end, Davis couldn't quite get to that one. Again, the idea was really good there from Joshua Kimmich to try and undo the Real backline. Lunin, the ball bouncing towards the left. Vinicius on the chase. Upamecano gets there first. And now Neuer passed it into the feet of Davis. 25 minutes to go here at the Allianz Arena. As it stands, we'll be going to extra time. It's 4-4 on aggregate. 3-2 on the night to Real. Goulet pass it back. Goulet with 2 of Real's goals. Rudiger to Lunin, clears it now to Bellingham. Lovely first touch from Bellingham with his right foot. Bellingham now. Bellingham's pass finds Mbappe, flicks up in the air for himself. Mbappe, 25 yards and goal, inside left, up against Tar. Mbappe needs support. Now finds the option of Valverde in the D. Valverde shot on target, but Neuer got to his left to deny Valverde and keep hold of the ball as well. It's a really good effort there from Fede Valverde. Tricky feet to shift it onto his left foot. Got a powerful strike, but again, not far enough towards the corner. And Neuer got to it, and now Bayern bets midfield with Kimmich. Upamecano. He's over halfway. In very slow fashion. Upamecano has Elise as an option. Elise is used. Upamecano just laid off very short to him. Elise in line with the centre circle. Square for Pavlovic now. By his side is Davis on the inside left. Bayern 30 yards from goal. Again, Pavlovic to Kimmich. Elise, first time behind him to Pavlovic. Again, Elise returns it to Pavlovic. Bayern on the left wing with Diaz. Davis goes in between Bellingham and Valverde to collect it. Now Elise knocks off to Diaz. Diaz right-footed to Kimmich. Kimmich, again, just over 30 yards from goal. Square in the middle to Lima. Upamecano. Here is Kimmich now. Kimmich. Square left-footed to Lima on the inside right. Elise faced away from goal. 25 yards from the target. Tricky feet from Elise to take it between 2 Real players. Now Pavlovic. Pavlovic's pass too tame to Davis. He was caught in his heels anyway. Clearance from Real blocked. Bayern in the box here with Diaz holds it up. Davis and now Musiala. Musiala a little step over, shot blocked. Onto the chest of Elise on the edge of the box in the D. Elise's curler just over. What an attempt there from Michael Elise. I think Lunin might have got a fingertip to that. Elise onto his left foot. And I'll tell you what Lunin did. That's a terrific stop. That was going into his top right-hand corner. If it wasn't for that fingertip. Take a bow, Andre Lunin. Corner on the left-hand side for Joshua Kimmich to take. And Bayern go back in front on aggregate once again. Kimmich past the corner to Elise. Rolled inside to Davis. Davis flat ball cleared away from Bellingham. Davis again, edge of the box now. Davis onto his left foot. His shot blocked with the back of Valverde. Now Vinicius chests it towards Mbappe. But Pavlovic steps in there. Gives it to Lima. Now Neuer well outside his box, which is unsurprising, of course. Manuel Neuer with this style of play. Elise down the inside left. Cut out. Now Bellingham. Bellingham again. Really tidy feet from Jude Bellingham. Goes into the fence to Rudiger. Mendy. Camavinga. Mendy again. Mendy's pass. Now forced to Kane. Kane, 30 yards to goal. Kane almost found Diaz. But it was intercepted. Well read for Militao. Militao's now over halfway on the right. Has Mbappe in his outside. He uses him as that short option. Mbappe now goes backwards to halfway to Valverde. It's in the centre circle with Camavinga. Square to Rudiger. So Real on the centre spot with Goulet. Goulet's not really got involved too much in the second half, but he has 2 goals to his name in that breathtaking first half. Brown halfway. First time from Alexander-Arnold. Goulet's pass on the turn blocked from Kane. It's in the centre circle in the Bayern half here with Musiala. Musiala pushed the ground. Real now have a man down here. Musiala took the free kick quickly. He's furious. And the referee shows Musiala a yellow card as well for taking the free kick quickly whilst Real have a man down. So it was Goulet. Well, it's a flicked hand back from Musiala. Goulet being a bit over dramatic. And there was a flaying hand that caught him, but I have to say it wasn't really too much in that. The yellow card shown to, I think, Rudiger. Rudiger was shown a booking. Was indeed, and 20 minutes to go at the Allianz Arena. It is 3-2 on the night for Real. 4-4 on aggregate. Can we find that winning goal? Otherwise, it will be extra time. Musiala in the centre circle. Backwards to Kimmich. Upamecano on halfway. Picks up Lima. Now Lima, was he tripped from Goulet? Nothing given. To Real now, down the left. Mendy picks out Mbappe. Facing up Tar. Mbappe into the box. Mbappe, wrong first Tar. Mbappe goes to the cross and almost found Bellingham, but Vinicius couldn't get a strike off. Camavinga edge of the box. Camavinga drills a shot blocked. And now Bayern have it with Elise. It's a calm pass there for Upamecano. Over halfway now from Bayern is Diaz into the box. Diaz onto his right foot. Diaz shot blocked from Rudiger. End-to-end stuff as things really open up now. We have just under 20 minutes left. Kimmich short for Kane. Back inside to Kane from Davis. Elise, just over 25 yards from goal. Kimmich, the right foot rolled across the attacking third for Upamecano. Now Bayern go backwards. Tar. Kimmich faces his own half, being pressed from Bellingham. Was Kimmich caught there? The referee waves play on Upamecano. Down the right, Elise, edge of the box, now to turn it from Lima, squeezed the cross in, it's passed out the area. For a throw for Bayern on the right for Lima. Throw taken quickly. Kimmich and Elise combine. Michael Elise stops the ball. Kimmich, again, Elise first time to Upamecano. 30 yards from the target. Inside left with Davis. And now Luis Diaz to Jamal Musiala. Just by his side is Kimmich. Kimmich turns, holds off Vinicius. Upamecano out to Elise on the wide right. Elise can't beat Goulet. Goulet's tackle goes out for a Bayern throw. And it's taken backwards from Bayern to Elise. Now infield to Peter Kimmich. Turn from Davis, 35 yards from goal. Now uses Luis Diaz. Inside to Kimmich. And Bayern enjoying possession here. Can they create something meaningful with it? As Bayern now inside left for Kimmich. He turns. Again, Bayern have to go backwards. And it's on halfway now with Tar. Now Upamecano's over halfway. Flick down the right. First time from Elise. And now surely a foul there from Rudiger on Conrad Lima. It was indeed. Again, Rudiger needs to be careful. And Lima was definitely caught late there. Rudiger on a yellow card, and Bayern fans are screaming for a second yellow for Rudiger. So free kick for Bayern. Wide right for Elise to take. It's been a good second half. Obviously, no one here is as good as the first, where all the 5 goals this evening in it. Obviously, a little bit more cagey this second half. So Elise with the free kick from the wide right. Elise puts in, header, over. Chance of Bayern. Deo Upamecano failed to find the target. Elise's free kick was on the money, and Upamecano had hit the target from there. It should be 5-4 to Bayern on aggregate. Massive opportunity. Was it Upamecano? The target came off last. It was so close to each other. I think it was Upamecano. Huge opportunity though, with the French centre-back Lunen's goal kick. Bounces away from all of Real Madrid's right-hand side. Now Davis to Diaz, Kane on halfway, tackle from Militao, breaks loose though in the Bayern midfield. Musiala's pass given away to Militao, just behind halfway. Militao, short pass, had too much on it for Fede Valverde. So it's a throw for Bayern on the left-hand side. Quarter an hour left here in normal time. Here's Bayern 2, Real 3 on the night. 4-piece on aggregate. If we can't find that winning goal, it'll be extra time here in Munich. Upamecano floats over the top of Vinicius and Mbappe. Pavlovic, Diaz is Pavlovic again. Now Davis. Davis midway in the Real half. Alphonso Davis just behind him. Harry Kane. Musiala turns. Musiala backwards. Bayern midway in the Real half. Now Upamecano looks to play it behind for Lima. Lima keeps them play on the byline. Lima out for Elise. Elise stops the ball. Elise shifts it onto his right. Elise turns. Still Elise. Brilliant feet from Elise. He's facing away from goal. Has to go into midfield to Kimmich. And now Pavlovic. Short here for Harry Kane. Kane now to brilliant diagonal onto the chest of Elise. Edge of the box. Michael Elise into the area. Elise now. Elise sets up the curling shot just over. And Elise tried to find the top corner there. Cutting couldn't quite do so. He wrapped his left foot around the ball. He's so dangerous cutting inside Elise. With Lunin couldn't get a fingertip onto this Elise curler. And so there's one early on where he made a real good save. Elise saying there was a fingertip. There certainly wasn't. So Real go long from the goal kick. Flicked on. And in the end, it's good work there from Pavlovic to beat Mbappe's the ball, pass it back to Neuer. It is Pavlovic. Laid off from Musiala. Pavlovic now. Infield to Tar. Jonathan Tar. Getting onto his right foot. Picks up Kimmich just behind the centre circle. Tar now, line breaking pass on halfway for Lima. And just tees off to Musiala. Musiala driving through the centre. Musiala pulled back from Camavinga. And that'll be a free kick for Bayern and a yellow card as well for Camavinga. Yeah, without a doubt, Camavinga had a fistful of Musiala's shirt. So free kick for Bayern in the centre. Just over 25 yards from goal. So Joshua Kimmich standing behind it. Could this be the moment for Bayern? As Kimmich now lifts into the box, looking for Tar, headed away from Militao. And now it's Elise in the centre. Elise passing the box, Kane's on the turn. Kane, can he get a shot off? Harry Kane, great feet. Musiala's tackled in the area. Camavinga clears. Now Vinicius, was he pushed there from Pavlovic? He was. Free kick for Real. Kane just couldn't get his feet sorted out to get a shot off a moment ago. And that was a good opportunity there for Bayern, which went begging when Real cleared Kimmich and Mbappe both going for the ball. Kimmich just seemed to caught a bit of Mbappe's face. They're both going for loose balls. Goulet just taking a quick drink along with Vinicius on the sidelines. And Goulet with the double this evening for Real. Got the open two. The visitors, and Bayern struck back twice on the night. Mbappe's goals at stands has Real in front on the night, but it's 4 apiece in the tie. And as it stands, we are going to extra time unless that winning goal can be found. And Bayern so frustrated, and have that advantage. It was wiped away from them the first minute. And that gift from Neuer to Goulet. And can we get the winning goal in this tie? So Kylian Mbappe, he just winced a bit here, and that is not a good sign at all. So Mbappe, will he be able to carry on? That's the question. So it's a free kick for Real. Andre Lunin to take with 10 minutes to go here at the Allianz Arena. Lunin's free kick, searching towards Vinicius, and Lima sees it out of play. So it will be a Bayern throw in 10 minutes to go here at the Allianz Arena. Bayern 2, Real 3 on the night, 4 apiece on aggregate. Camavinga heads forwards the Bayern throw. Now just nodded for Kimmich to Neuer. Neuer over on throw out to the left. Here's Davis. Now square midfield to Kimmich. Pass over halfway reaches Musiala. Just under 10 yards inside the Real half. Musiala just behind him. Here's Kimmich. Musiala used again, then squares it to Kimmich. Tar. The impatient play from Bayern. Pavlovic now in the middle, just over 35 yards to goal. Now Upamecano inside right, squares it for Kimmich. Lima once more is Kimmich. Kimmich's whip pass blocked though from his opposite number, Camavinga. Forwards on the left, now to Diaz. Infield to Kimmich, a little bit of space open up for Kimmich. Now Real quickly blocking it. Kimmich's pass now flicked towards the D, cleared away from Real. And Bayern starting to pin Real back. Pavlovic. Oh, it's a lovely death flick from Elise. And now cross towards the back post, headed away from Militao. And Lunin gets hold of it. Great defending from Militao. Yeah, bending cross towards the back stick, and Militao did excellently to beat Luis Diaz in the air. And it was a heavy fall for Militao though. So he's down in some pain at the moment. Now back on his feet, and Real take the free kick. Speaking of Militao, now on the turn to give it to Lunin. Rudiger inside the Real penalty area. Rudiger searching towards the centre circle, headed back now to Upamecano. Upamecano's header reaches Camavinga. Flip towards the centre circle. Now Mendy picks up Goulet. Goulet on the volley. Now Vinicius in behind him. Vinicius left side the penalty area on the byline. Upamecano puts a tackle in, but Vinicius still has it. Edge of the box, backing into Upamecano. Neat help here, Vinicius. Upamecano gets a tackle in. That will do though for Real Madrid. It is a throw to take on the left hand side. Upamecano miscontrolled initially that ball over the top. Just got Vinicius in behind for a second, but Upamecano kept pace. It's Real Madrid in midfield now from the throw. Valverde. Again, played out to the right to Alexander-Arnold. Slowed himself down. Militao. Right footed to Mendy. Short for Vinicius. Mendy again. And now right footed. Square pass from Mendy. Alexander-Arnold. Infield to Mbappe. And back out to Alexander-Arnold. Lifts the cross in. Bayern clear. Now slick clear out the box from Pavlovic. Camavinga on the stretch. Managed to poke it to Militao. Valverde out to Alexander-Arnold, past it towards the box. It's there by Kane, gets there to cut it out. Kane close to the corner flag, still Harry Kane. Goes to short pass to Pavlovic, back for Neuer. He clears it first time. Now was there a push on the back of Luis Diaz? There was indeed. Eder Militao. There's a clear turn to Bush and he's on the yellow card. And so he needs to be careful. Militao, we have 6 minutes of normal time remaining here at the Allianz Arena. Bayern 2, Real 3 on the night, 4 apiece on aggregate. Bayern take the free kick, down the left now. Diaz, can you get a ball in? Diaz on the byline, Diaz cuts it back. Chance for Kane, Kane shot blocked. And it's cleared away from the 6-yard box from Rudiger. Kimmich in the D is shot over. I think it was a free kick awarded to Real anyway. But it was frantic stuff. Kane's shot blocked for Camavinga. And it was spinning towards the 6-yard box. And Rudiger on the stretch managed to get it away, left-footed. Real survived that. So 5 minutes, a normal time to go here at the Allianz Arena. Bayern 2, Real 3, 4 all in the tie. So it's a free kick for Lunin, flicked on towards Mbappe, cleared from Tar. Breaks here for Davis, Kimmich, Davis again. Davis down to pressure, turns away from Bellingham. Still Davis. Short for Kane. Kane looked like he was pushed there from Camavinga. And it will be a free kick for Bayern to take. Deep inside their half. Again, Bayern not best pleased about something. It's a red card. A red card has been shown to Eduardo Camavinga. I'm not sure exactly what that was for. But his teammates were incensed. Big moment in this tie. Camavinga showed a second yellow card. So it must have been something that he said to the referee, but an awful substitute performance, and Eduardo Camavinga picking up 2 yellow cards. So Real down to 10 men now. And here's Bayern needing to try and make the most of the man advantage. They get themselves the advantage again on aggregate. Kimmich, 30 yards and goal in the middle. Over the top now, looking for Lima. Lima controls. Vinicius goes down inside the box. It's a free kick to Real. The referee saw enough there of an arm towards Vinicius from Lima. But Real, it's got even harder than Camavinga being sent off for a second yellow. So the reason was, actually looking at it again, he hung onto the ball for too long and wouldn't give it back to Bayern quick enough. That was the reason why he got a second yellow. So Upamecano chest down from the Lunin free kick. So again, it's just all about staying disciplined now for Real to take this to extra time. The man lesson is Bayern with Musiala just by the centre circle in their half. And now Kimmich over halfway in the centre circle. Joshua Kimmich and rolls it to the inside right to Lima. Now Elise. Bayern on the ball with Pavlovic. Alphonso Davies, Pavlovic again. Now Kimmich, 30 yards and goal inside right. Head of him is Lima, uses him. Elise first time to Kimmich. Now passed across to Pavlovic, edge of the box. Luis Diaz inside the penalty area. Diaz to Musiala, drags it back. And now shot for Luis Diaz. Oh, what a goal! And if that is the goal to send Bayern through to the semi-finals, then my word, what a goal it is! Luis Diaz, take a bow. A peach of a corner. Edge of the box. On the inside left. Well, it was Elise who was teasing that strike all night. But it's the other wide man in Luis Diaz who has found that magic. Right-footed. It's the top corner. Mbappe shakes his head in disbelief. We're now in the last minute of normal time. And Bayern lead on aggregate again. It's 5-4 in the tie. Pavlovic set it up for Diaz. And so Musiala dragged it, Musiala the back heel to Diaz after Pavlovic gave it to the Colombian. Lovely link up to Musiala and Diaz. And that is how to strike a ball. It did take a nick on the way through for Militao. So a tad bit of fortune, but to be honest, it was still a hell of a hit for Michael Olise. The Allianz Arena has erupted. Emotion for the fans as they're looking for their first Champions League in 6 years. My word, what a goal. The scarves, the red and white scarves are twirling in unison. What a moment for Luis Diaz. So, it's gone from bad to worse for Real. They've gone down to 10 men, and Bayern now back in front on Arda Güler. Personally, he's had a brilliant night getting a double, but his team heading out as things stand. And it is a free kick now for Bayern. A waste of restart from Real. Only 4 minutes of stoppage time here for Real to keep themselves in the Champions League. It's now Bayern in possession. It's the first 40 seconds of stoppage time. Bayern go backwards. And now it's long for Neuer. Neuer towards the left-hand side. Clear for Alexander-Arnold. Real volley forwards to Bellingham. By the way, Thiago Pita came on for Trent Alexander-Arnold as Bayern have it at the back here. Arsenal, by the way, are through to the semi-finals of the Champions League, was goalless on the night. They defeated Sporting by goal to nil on aggregate. Here come Bayern now, trying to seal off the tie. It's ball played towards Elise from Diaz inside the box, but it's intercepted from Mendy. There's a little clip on Mendy's ankle. There was Güler, Alexander-Arnold off, and Peter and Mastantuono on the pitch. Can I then be the hero to take this to extra time? Lunin takes the free kick. Head away from Upamecano. Volley for Militao. Towards the wide left. Vinicius controls. Now Vinicius. Lima puts the tackle in it. Trickles out for a throw for Real Madrid. And Mastantuono's across to pick up the ball. And he'll lead the throw for Mendy. We're midway into the 4 minutes of stoppage time. So fell on Mendy to take the throw. Goes backwards here to Mastantuono. Down the left for Vinicius. Inside for Bellingham. Now inside for Mbappe. Mbappe turns. His cross is blocked. Now Lise heads to Kane. Kane scoops it to left-hand side. Here comes Bayern on the attack with Diaz. Diaz now picks out Elise. Just got away from Elise on the inside right. Really, I think that was down to the poor pass from Luis Diaz. And a real waste there from Bayern on the counter. So we have just over a minute of stoppage time left. The visiting Madrid fans, again, nail-biting stuff for them. Can their side create that one last chance to save their season and take this to extra time? Mendy. Vinicius just beyond halfway. Good tackle there for Lima. Well, I thought it was a good tackle, but the referee's pointed for a Real Madrid free kick. Just under a minute of stoppage time left. Is there one last dramatic twist in normal time to take this to extra time? Real Madrid coming forwards here. Bellingham now. Pass it towards the byline. Cross comes in from the right-hand side, headed away from Tar. And now Diaz picks it up. And Diaz will just come forwards here for Bayern. Still Luis Diaz, great feet. Diaz now throws it to Kane. Kane from the centre circle, sweeps it to Elise. Bayern just need to take this to the corner flag, but Elise driving forward here. Elise Scala! And Bayern are going through to the Champions League semi-finals. Michael Elise gets his deserved goal. I said a moment ago, when Diaz scored, Elise was the man who was teasing that cut-in strike all night. Well, he's finally got one off himself into the back of the net. 4-3 to Bayern on the night. 6-4 in aggregate. Michael Elise has wrapped it up. This is one of the great Champions League ties for sure. If the Allianz Arena didn't erupt enough for the Diaz equaliser on the night, then the Elise winner, it's gone up a notch. The atmosphere has been tremendous, and the Bayern fans can celebrate going through to the Champions League semi-finals. The Real players surrounding the referee as the final whistle has now gone at the Allianz Arena. What a tie! It's finished 4-3 to Bayern on the night, 6-4 on aggregate. It all started with Manuel Neuer gifting Arda Güler a goal, passed it straight to him, and Güler whipped it from 30 yards out left-footed into an empty net. Pavlovic struck back, heading a corner in from on the goal line. Easiest goal of scored in his career. Güler then got his second from a free kick, which Neuer got a strong hand to. So Neuer will be disappointed with his first half performance. And the Real Madrid players surrounding the referee, thinking a red card's been shown to Arda Güler, by the way. And Harry Kane got Bayern back in front in the tie. Upamecano picked him out in the box. Kane just finessed it into the bottom corner. And Mbappe then got Real Madrid in front on the night for a third time and levelled up the tie on the counter. Vinicius finding him after Bellingham played it down left for Vinicius. And then two late goals from Bayern to see it off after Camavinga came off the bench and picked up 2 yellow cards. Luis Diaz cut in after Musiala dragged the ball into his path in the box. And Elise on the counter to wrap things up with his left foot off the post. What a tie. It's finished on the night. Bayern 4, Real 3, 6-4 on aggregate to Bayern. And Bayern now will be facing Paris Saint-Germain in the Champions League quarter-finals. As for Real Madrid, their season is pretty much over, and it looks like it'll be another season for Real Madrid without a major trophy. What a night here at the Allianz Arena. Thanks for listening, and we'll see you next time.